If you guys have been following me a while, you guys probably know I love to gab about a good TV show. I love to gossip and scheme and talk about what I think is going to happen next. Honestly, we've been feasting with like new TV content. Yellowjackets just got done, and so again, spoiler, I'm going to talk about Yellowjackets spoilers. I'm going to talk about the new The Last of Us spoilers. And then I'll briefly touch on the reality TV that I'm watching right now. I'm watching the Life After Lockup with Gypsy Rose, and I am watching the new season of Sister Wives, so I'm just going to info dump and talk about those TV shows and how I feel about those TV shows right now, and I'm going to give some theories for Yellowjackets and some thoughts that I have on how they're going to take this season of The Last of Us. If you've not played The Last of Us 2 video game too, I'm also going to talk about spoilers relating to that. First, let's talk about Yellowjackets. What a season. Every episode had like a new twist to it. One of my favorite things that has come out of like the last several weeks is all of the Coach Scott memes, like the picture of him on the flag that says, "Fuck them kids." But really though, I was thinking Coach Scott taught them how to use the pew pew, in which they ultimately turned on him. The Shauna nicknames in the fandom, you guys. Shauna bin Laden. That's the one I'm seeing the most, but it's not my favorite one. It's not my favorite one. Shawnable Lecter takes the cake. And that Shawnable Lecter, oh my. I'm at the point in the Yellowjackets, like, what do you guys think? That there's nothing supernatural. I think it's all just what your mind does in the woods in a situation like this. I think it's all trauma responses, which isn't very exciting, I guess, but I think it all feeds into like Lottie's mental illnesses and the other girls as well. And then we're like rewatching like the first couple of seasons, and in like the first couple of seasons I do really empathize with Shauna, and me and my spouse were talking. We're like, imagine you have to like give birth in the forest. It's traumatic, and what happens. It's awful. And then I don't know, I experienced extreme postpartum depression. And I mean, even if you don't experience that, your brain and your body is like not the same after pregnancy. It just isn't. Like I was a whole other person, a whole other animal. And so in a way that's like where I see Shauna, but in another way I'm like, when she said at the end, she's like, we were all having so much fun. You were Shauna, but I think Shauna and maybe Lottie were having a good time. But even Natalie, who arguably has like one of like the like crappiest home lives, is like, I'm out of here. I'm so out of here. I keep saying that Natalie is like the sanest one. She does have like her inner demons and things that she battles as an adult, like addiction, but like when you go through something like that, yeah, that kind of stuff comes out of that. And so it's like, Natalie's my number one. I think Misty's more of a mastermind than we even know yet. Also, that's another theory that I have. Is Caligula the bird? Is the gray bird dead? When she was cleaning the cage and taking off the plate, that was just unaddressed. Did Walter hurt the bird? Who is Walter still? Like, there's so much we do not know about Walter. And I was watching an interview with the Yellowjackets. They're talking about Elijah Wood and how he would just, nobody was ever more awake than Elijah Wood. I love Elijah Wood so much. From like the Lord of the Rings to, I think about this like 6 times a week, and I don't know why. When he went to like that fan's Animal Crossing island to get the fruit, I'm like, that's when I became a super fan of Elijah Wood. So, and we don't really know where Walter's allegiances lie. I think he does like Misty, but I don't think that's the reason he's there. Thank God Jeff got Callie out also. Like, drive. Don't look back. Keep going. Don't turn around. And I think the main big reveal next season, I don't think there's going to be more than next season. I don't think they could continue it for that long. But I think Aquila is like the big reveal next season. I have a few theories. I keep trying to count the rescues and like the rescue scenes. I can't. And she just went into that cave. I think that she either stayed in the wilderness for a while or was like presumed to be deceased. I want to see the rescue so bad, like more of it, because it's like, what did they do with all of that? Anyway, if I continue to talk about Yellowjackets, we're not going to have any time for any of the other shows, but that show's been captivating me for the last several months. New The Last of Us on Sunday just came out, and I know what's coming. And again, if you haven't played the video game, spoilers alert, we all know that Joel is no longer going to be on this earthly plane. And as I remember it in the video game, it happened quite quickly, I think within the first hour or two of gameplay. And me and my husband are like trying to like bet each other, like, do you think this is going to be a full season? I have a theory that this is going to be like this game, this part 2 is going to be split into 2 seasons, and they're going to stretch it, and we're not going to see the Joel situation completely unfold until like episode 3 or 4. I really think they're going to milk it. They're not going to let Pedro Pascal just pop in and then pop out. They want him in the show. They know he's a huge draw, and I think they're gonna stretch it. Bella Ramsey's doing an amazing job. They always do. If you don't know, non-binary autistic icon Bella Ramsey. And do you think they're gonna end it like they ended the video game, or do you think they're going to? I think they're either going to extend this, or they're going to rewrite the ending so that it can extend. And I don't know if I'm excited about that. I spent way too long in the aquarium in The Last of Us 2, and so I'm hoping there's plenty of aquarium time because I just liked the aquarium. And then we didn't notice last season, but Tommy's girlfriend is Tara from The Walking Dead. I didn't even notice, but it was very clear this time. And she looks just like the lady in the video game too. I can't remember her name. Another thing that we were thinking about as we were watching this, as somebody from Wyoming, which is where a lot of the show is taking place, and then she makes her way up to Seattle. I know she has like her horse and stuff, but like that's like, there's so much distance between towns and things. And so, you know, in the video game, you're just like crawling through houses and stuff. Like what really is skipped is just days of walking old highways, I'm assuming. It's like in Wyoming and Idaho, sometimes you can drive like an hour and a half and not run into another town. And that's driving. That's all I can think about. We're watching the third season of the Gypsy Rose show. Life, Love After Lockup, or whatever they're calling it. I'm not enjoying myself. I don't know why I continue to watch it. I empathize a little bit less and less with Gypsy as time goes on, and I don't know if I'll continue to tune in. I keep forgetting it's on, and then I'll have to like watch it on like the Spectrum TV app. Definitely not the most interesting reality TV show. One of my favorite reality TV shows, this is a little bit of a side tangent, is the Breaking Amish, like specifically the seasons with the original cast, like Jeremiah, Kate, Rebecca, Abe, Katie Ann, all of them, that group. I saw in the Sister Wives subreddit that Mary from that show passed away, and I felt so sad. Like, that is so upsetting. Like, I'm like, if you watch the show, she was like shunned from going to her own father's funeral, and so all I'm imagining is her own kids are going to be shunned from going to hers, and it's just, my heart aches. A lot of that show was like fabricated, but there was a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes that weren't. We always called her Mama Mary when we watched, so rest in peace, Mama Mary. Okay, and then Sister Wives. I say I've been watching Sister Wives. What I mean is I was watching Sister Wives, and then they said like they're gonna come back at the tell-all, and then they didn't come back. That's kind of where I'm sitting here waiting, along with the other Sister Wives girlies. I've been watching the show since I was like 8 years old. At this point, I'm just invested to see the wives do well and thrive, especially the wives that left, like Christine, Janelle, Mary's story, things like that. But this show's also been another show that I feel like has been increasingly harder to watch. There was a significant person within the family that passed away last year, and the entire thing's just sad. The breakdown of a family, regardless of the familial structure, is just sad, and it's getting quite hard to watch. I was watching some of the 90 Day Fiancé stuff, but it was kind of getting boring to me. So if you like reality TV, what are you watching? I don't like the Kardashians. I don't know. I'm very picky with my reality TV shows. I miss Breaking Amish. that was the peak. And Wife Swap. Growing up, I loved The Girls Next Door a lot, but in retrospect, I shouldn't have been watching it, but